after days of demonstration over the poor state of the economy, which have morphed into calls for the government to step down, Sudan's parliament passed its 2019 fiscal budget.
The
most important thing about the budget is addressing the hard currency issue and increasing exports by 30% while reducing imports by increasing local production. The budget also focuses on increasing oil production and reducing imports of oil.
The new budget promises to reduce the country's inflation from its current rate of 70% to 27%. It also aims to increase economic growth by 5.1% and raise spending by nearly $3.4 billion while cutting budget deficit to 3.3% from the current 3.7%, aims that some economists think will be difficult to achieve.
There's a huge deficit in the budget, about $1 billion. There is also a deficit between exports and imports and an increase in inflation. These are challenges facing the government, so anything that doesn't address those issues will affect the implementation of the budget.
The newly passed spending bill also leaves important questions unanswered. The new budget will maintain subsidies on wheat and fuel, but doesn't explain where the government will get the hard currency needed to pay for those subsidies. A currency shortage has led to long queues at petrol stations and lack of bread in some bakeries, which has triggered nationwide protests. Protests that began in the city of Atbara over bread shortages and rising inflation quickly spread to other parts of the country. The government responded with tear gas and live ammunition. More than 60% of Sudan's revenue was lost when South Sudan seceded in 2011, taking a third of the country's oil reserves with it. Despite government attempts to find new sources of revenue, Sudan suffered. Now some Sudanese say they have lost faith in the government's ability to fix the economy.
I have little faith in the government, but there's no other option. If we get another government, it might be even worse than the one we currently have.
Our only problem is the high prices. We've said it before that the government has taken all our money, but we don't know what the future holds. What if we bring in people who have experience and they destroy the economy even more?
Sudan's economy has been fragile for the past 7 years, but politicians here hope that their 2019 budget will lead to greater stability, both economically as well as politically. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.